Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Learning Lab with Jay and Nichole. Today, we are going to take a look at one of the things that we teach, which is OET. This is it's an English test, another English test, not much different than anything else you've heard of, but it's specific for medical professionals that want to go work in an English-speaking country. Okay, Nichole?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this before, you and I, privately. We kind of
Mhm.
equate it to the medical field's version of IELTS.
Right.
It's just making sure that they can communicate effectively with the general public when it comes to, in the medical profession. Um, in my experience, I've seen it's mostly people from like over here, like in India and like maybe some of the Philippines, a few from Taiwan, I think. Those are the ones who we tend to see most often pop up for
Mhm.
the OET
Right.
platform.
China and China.
China,
Yeah.
yeah. It
Hong
can
Kong.
be a little bit difficult though, and I think most of it has to do with the terminology and the cultural differences in how we interact with people. I think is what the real
Right.
point is of the test, to be completely frank with you.
So, yeah. So today we're actually going to do the listening, one of the listening parts. There's three listening parts. I actually believe that the listening is the most challenging part for the students. They're going to listen. So today, they would listen to two people speaking, a doctor and a patient in this one. And afterwards, they have to answer like 12 questions, I think it is. It's been a while since I've done this. I'm not sure, that maybe six questions. I don't remember. But they have to answer those questions based on the conversation that they hear. Sometimes it's not a conversation. Sometimes they listen to what would be a podcast recording or a presentation about something.
Yep.
Today is actually a conversation. Okay.
But don't forget, we did something special with this because this is our podcast version, not our actual channel version. Do we want to clue them in?
Go ahead.
All right. So we've decided to make this a little bit more fun and entertaining. So you have a scavenger hunt. What can you find in our reading today? We like to add fun little tidbits, characters, and different things. So tell us in the comments what you found, what you thought was funny, and what you'd like to see pop up in the next one.
Okay.
And this
All
will
right.
be completely unedited. So you're going to
Right.
catch us laughing and cracking up. And, we have the polished version on our actual OET Success podcast channel.
Right. This
Um,
would never go on that channel. This
uh,
would never go there.
but this
Yeah.
actually does happen to us. What you're seeing right now will actually happen to us a lot. And we've actually had to stop recording and come back another day because we've completely
Right.
just lost it.
Right. Right.
And the
Okay.
other thing I should like to mention is that the way we read these, we actually don't preview them beforehand. We find that when we do it straight off the cuff, we actually read them a lot better, typically.
Mhm.
Typically. Unless we've got some fun medical terminology, then it becomes interesting.
Yeah. The words are said because we don't necessarily, we have to figure out the correct pronunciation of a lot of words
And we're
because
the
they're
English
medical.
teachers.
Right. Yeah. Right. Right.
Are we ready?
Okay. Yes. Okay. So I am the patient. I'm Tony Stark, and you are Dr. Potts. Okay.
Yes, Dr. Virginia Potts. All right. We
Yeah.
ready to go?
Yes, ma'am.
Count it down.
Okay. Five, four, three, two. Wait a minute. One. Go.
Good afternoon, Mr. Stark. Please come in and have a seat. What brings you here today?
Thanks, doctor. Right. So this is a bit awkward, but I've been having this dull ache in my testicles. It's been happening on and off for the past week.
Okay, Tony. I deal with these kinds of concerns all the time. Can you describe the discomfort for me in a bit more detail?
Sure. It's still embarrassing, but it's not sharp pain, but more like a heavy, uncomfortable pressure, mostly in both my guys. And it tends to build up over time rather than start suddenly.
All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, how painful would you say it gets?
It's like a strong four. It's more uncomfortable than painful, but distracting enough that I finally decided to get it checked.
Okay, that's sensible. Does this discomfort radiate anywhere else, such as in your lower abdomen or growing area?
Sometimes when it's really bad, it goes into the lower abdomen, yes, but not always though.
Okay. Have you noticed any swelling, redness, maybe changes in size of your testicles?
No redness or swelling that I can tell. Everything looks normal, just uncomfortable.
Okay. Any fever, nausea, or problems with urination?
No fever. Um, Peeing is fine. They are painful to touch.
Mhm.
Doesn't help if I touch them. No burning though, or anything like that.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask a few personal questions now, as they're medically relevant. Is that all right?
Uh, yeah, go ahead. But I'm trying to still get past the embarrassment stage.
Okay, fair enough. Have you been sexually active recently?
Of course, yes, but not as much as usual. I have a busy schedule and lots of stress.
All right. Have you experienced sexual arousal without ejaculation around the times when the discomfort occurs?
Yeah, quite often, actually. That's why I did some reading online and came across the term blue balls. I wasn't sure if that was a real medical thing or just internet nonsense.
Oh, it's a real phenomenon, though we use a different term medically. It's called epididymal hypertension. It can happen when blood flow increases to the genital area during arousal and doesn't return to normal promptly.
So I'm not imagining this.
Oh, no, you're not. It's usually harmless and temporary, but it can be quite uncomfortable.
That's reassuring. I was worried it might be something more serious.
Well, it's good that you came in. We still need to rule out any other causes. Have you had any recent, maybe injuries in the growing area?
No injuries, no accidents, and no superhero landings gone wrong.
All right. Any history of testicular conditions, infections, surgeries?
Nope.
Well, that's good. From what you described, this really does sound consistent with epididy- epididymal. Is that how that works? Epididymal hypertension. However, I'd like to perform a brief physical exam to exclude things like infection, torsion, or
Uh,
varicocele. Would that be okay? What is that? Now I gotta go look this up in the dictionary.
If it helps put my mind at ease, absolutely.
All right, good. Before we do that, I'll explain the management. In most cases, the condition resolves on its own. The discomfort usually improves once normal blood flow returns.
I hate to ask this. And how do I help that happen?
I'm sorry if a guy has to ask this question. I'm just gonna. Doctor. All right. Ejaculation often relieves the symptoms. Other helpful measures include a light physical activity or warm shower, and of course, avoiding prolonged sexual arousal without release.
So basically, stress less and let things resolve naturally.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it. Also, over the counter pain relief like paracetamol can help if needed.
Is there any risk of long-term damage?
Contrary to popular belief. Okay, sorry. I could not help that. You served it up for me. I'm sorry. No, no, not from epididymal hypertension itself. However, if you experience sudden severe pain, swelling, or pain on one side only, you should seek urgent medical attention.
Understood.
All right, I'll examine you now, and if everything feels normal, I don't think we'll need any further tests today.
Sounds good. And be prepared.
The script actually says brief pause indicating examination.
Right.
Okay, well, good news. Everything feels normal, no signs of infection or other abnormalities.
That was a relief.
I'll make a note in your record, but at this stage, reassurance and conservative management are all that's required.
Thanks, doctor. I appreciate how straightforward you've been about this.
You're welcome. And remember, if symptoms worsen or don't improve, come back and see me anytime.
Oh, I will. I will. Hopefully, next time I see you, it's for something less awkward.
No problem. That's perfectly fine. Take care, Tony. See you soon.
Okay. So, uh, when when a student does this, they see questions and they can follow along and try to answer the questions. The questions are not easy. I am not joking. This part of the exam is rough. Is rough. I think. I think. Um,
I I agree with you. I think it's a challenge because traditionally, for any ESL student, they're very heavy on reading and writing. The
mhm,
auditory tends to be the killer because we don't slow down. I mean, we actually
right.
are a little bit because we're used to slowing down, but we
Mhm,
typically try to keep it right at pace of a normal speaker. Because when you're in another country, they're not going to slow down for you. Your
right.
patients are going to speak super fast. They're going to say things incorrectly. We sometimes will say things incorrectly on purpose. We'll butcher some of the words and be like, I don't know, because
Right.
that's how patients talk.
Mhm,
Um, yeah, I think in the future, today's just a fun one to get started.
right.
In the future, I think we
We'll
might
hit them
show
with a
some of the
real one.
questions. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And we'll also show some questions afterwards next time. We'll slowly introduce you guys to the process that
Mhm.
we go through.
And
Um,
and the scripts, you know, I'm gonna let us. Should I let the secret out?
well, now they know there's a secret. Good job.
The scripts. It's taken me a long time to get
Oh,
AI
okay.
to do this
Yeah.
correct. I do create the scripts with AI. Sometimes, AI is AI, and it'll take me an hour to get a good script out of it.
Yeah, but you and I both, like I have a version as well that
Mhm.
it took us a long time. We were
Right,
heavily editing for a very long time before it finally
right,
figured out what we were asking it to do.
right. Um, and we have had some doctors here in the Philippines and nurses look at the scripts to make sure they're legit, and we got a thumbs up. So
Yeah, you had a specific student actually. Boy, am I trying to keep that name under wraps.
Einstein,
Thank you. I was like, I wasn't gonna be the one to say it, but we had Einstein who we specifically you specifically made sure that it was really in line with her tests,
right,
and you had her come back after her testing, which she passed, by the way. Good job, Jay.
right.
They worked really hard with her. You did. You worked really hard. I sat in on a couple of those classes. Um, he worked hard with her quite a lot, but she said that they were really on par and they actually helped her quite a lot.
Right. Right. Yep. Yep. She So the OET, they can actually retake parts of the test. So she only
Mhm.
had to go back and do the listening again. And the first time I helped her, she passed everything but the listening. The second time, she I shouldn't have said that, but the student went to an in-person English school and she failed it. She came back to me and we put her through 6 weeks of
You just
torture.
hammered her on
Uh,
the audios. Part A, B, and C, I think, right?
Yeah, yeah, all three parts. Part A is pretty simple. Part A
It
is
is, but
pretty
it's a good
simple,
warm up.
right? Uh, Part B, which is what we did today, this wasn't a very in-depth one. They can get really in-depth and very technical, and they are really tough. But the student, what the student should understand all the medical terms. We do not, but they should.
Yeah.
It's not a I'm not helping them with their medical stuff. That's on them. Only the English. And we did this for like 6 weeks with her. She walked in and passed it. Now she's working in Canada.
Yeah, that was such a relief too. But yeah, that's the thing that people have to really understand is when you're doing OET, you are not getting like A1 level students. Okay. You're getting
Right.
students who could easily pass the IELTS at like top
Yeah.
level, right? Okay.
Right.
What they're having trouble with is the fluency of listening and comprehending and interacting in the medical field by the Western standard that they're trying to go into, right?
Right.
And it's an entire different animal for them. Also, they're used to hearing English at a much slower pace. So it's really retraining them to be in that natural environment before they go there.
Right. Right.
And when you're hiring a doctor or a pharmacist, or you want to make sure there's no absolute language barriers at all.
Right, right. And also, it's a medical field and that includes veterinary medicine
Yep.
too. That includes
Yeah.
veterinary medicine
There was an
and
entire list, like, it was doctors, pharmacists, nurses, veterinary. I think there was, like, a couple
lab
others.
techs,
Yeah,
x-ray techs,
yeah.
all these people, that's all of them. We've done a few veterinary recordings. Same challenge for us. It doesn't matter which one it is, the technical terms, as you could see, they're difficult for us to pronounce.
There was that was a new one for me. A couple of them I just kinda looked at and went, "Hmm?"
I don't- that V word, I don't know how to say that. And I've seen
I
that
don't
word
even
before.
I've seen it before. I'm gonna have to look it up too because 'cause I'm like, "I think I know what that means, but I'm not sure now." Now I gotta go to the
Right.
dictionary. Every time we do these readings, I swear I end up spending, like, 20 minutes afterwards going through the dictionary going, "What is that?"
Right. Right. Right.
Do you remember
Right.
that one that we did? I wonder if we could find it on our OET channel. I think that'd be a fun one to pop up or to critique ourselves. Um, there was one. So a lot of these, actually, I think it's part B is the one that's the really long one, right? Part C is
Yeah.
the small chopped up ones. The
And
part B, some of them are really long, and we had a
yeah,
couple that had like it was two doctors talking after a seminar, I think is what it was.
yeah.
And just the amount of medical terminology,
We
y'all,
had to
if I have to
pause.
tell you,
We had to pause and take a
we
breather through that one.
yeah, like, we decided to actually, like, do, like, maybe, like, 4 lines and stop, so we would sit there and we're sitting there on Google, go, "How do you pronounce this? How do you" and we're listening to Google telling us how to say stuff, so we can do, like,
Right.
the 4 lines and pause it and then do the next 4 lines. That was the most difficult one we've ever done.
Right. It was. It was rough.
It
It
was
was
rough.
rough.
But the nice thing is like Jay said, we are not medical experts. Yeah, we learn a lot by doing this, and we do ask doctor friends, and we teach doctors on the side for other things for IELTS and stuff. And uh, our job for this test, so anybody who's looking into it, is not really to be like you have to know all this medical terminology. No, your
That's on
job,
them.
that's
That's
on
on
them.
them.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's yeah, your job is to teach them the language connection aspect, the
Mhm.
listening skills, the like discernment on what it is you need to know, inferring information, knowing what questions to ask, how to connect it. Um, that's the skill that you're teaching them.
Right. Right.
Yeah. which is not easy. This one crushes them. Funny enough, my IELTS students, some of my adults, I do some academic IELTS. Oh, cute doggy doggy. Funny enough, the listening is what kills them
Right.
also.
Right.
Every time. That's where they get the low scores is the listening.
That, and they think that some of the students think that, well, it's listening. I don't need help with that. I can do that, or I can do that on my own. And probably maybe half the time, that's not the case. That's not, especially with this one. Especially with
Yeah.
this one. It's also difficult for them to find new material online because,
Ah,
even when I would go out and look for new material, it got to the point where I'm like, man, there's nothing new out there. So I had to go to AI and have it start creating stuff. There are a ton of OET listening videos on YouTube, not just ours.
yep.
But you should only listen to ours.
Ours is fresh and unique and funny.
Right, right, right. Yeah. I don't know. Did we post the one about explosive diarrhea? Did that one get posted?
I think it did, man. I lost it so bad we had to come back another day and record that.
So I create the scripts and then just give them to Nichole.
And I purposely, just for shits and giggles, I purposely, yeah, pardon me, but just for, fun factors, we don't really read them too much beforehand. He briefly will go over it, make sure it's accurate, but
Mhm.
I'll do it just to see what he's done because I think it's funny as all get out. I just think it's impressively funny. So I'll go through it and it becomes the challenge of, will Nichole lose it while reading?
Okay, what's
All
up
right.
next? What's in our next podcast? What are we doing?
Oh, okay. So this is our wrong picture. Hold on a second. I got the wrong one up.
Are we doing one next week?
Yeah, we are doing one next week. So week 2 is our this is called the test lab. So the test lab, right? So week 1 is in the wild. Week 2 is the test lab because it's all about testing OET, KET, all that stuff. Next week is I have to look it up because they're all new. We came up with new names that I actually liked. All right. Spotlight. So next week is Spotlight. Oop, there goes getting my new computer soon. Give it a second to catch up. Spotlight. So next week in the Spotlight, I know it looks wonderful, doesn't it? I might have to unplug the monitor. Oh wait, I caught up. Okay. Um, the Spotlight, we decided that that's going to be where we do all of our if we have guests on the platform for us and on our podcast. Also, we can spotlight any um like tech tools, teaching processes. That's when we're gonna spotlight all those things. So when we want to put a focus on something, whether it be a guest, tech, tools, or some type of process. And we haven't nailed it down yet next week if we're going to have an actual guest or if we're going to spotlight some kind of tech.
So, you know, wh- so we've run through most of the people that we know
Mm,
or internet know. But if there's somebody out there that has something interesting they want to talk about, or of somebody, just send us a message, dude.
yeah, totally.
You
Absolutely.
know, uh, I'm always open to hearing from other people. I'm always open to that.
Yeah. And when we
Um,
say from other people, like it doesn't have to be, I mean, we'd be cool to have, CEOs and stuff. I mean, that'd be awesome.
right.
But, just regular people in the field who want to share their experience going solo or maybe has something to share specific about, I don't know, something new in the industry for,
Mhm.
teaching. Um, we're also open to business coaches, coaches for
Yeah,
teachers and things like
for
that,
sure.
because we're going to be focusing on that as well, because
Mhm.
you and I both dabble in that a bit. Um, so all of this is on the table. So definitely. Um, yeah. And then after next week, that's the break room. After that, we have our what I call the freebie week, but that's our we call it the break room, really. So the last segment of the month is where anything that pops up off script, recaps, stuff that's happened to us in our teaching during the month. It's kind of our freebie catch-all week where, anything that catches our fancy or just some off the cuff conversation that we have.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Good.
sounds good.
Good. All right.
Definitely let us know what you guys think of last week and this week, the new process we've come up with.
Yeah, if you guys haven't watched last week's podcast, please go take a look at it. There's a link up here you can click. I got to remember to put that in the editing, but
I'm
uh,
dying
that
laughing now.
was I was I really I thought that was one of our best ones ever. We did something
Yeah, that was a
totally
lot
new.
of fun. Yeah.
It was a reaction video to somebody giving out teaching tips for online ESL teachers. Check it out. Check it out.
Yeah, we're playing around a little bit more. So we've moved into season 5, not because we really are on season 5, but we wanted to break from the last process into this. So it's taken us a few seasons to like find out what we didn't like, what we have
Mhm.
liked, how restrictive we want to be, how loose we want to be. And we've learned a lot along the way. Um, I feel like last season we kind of lost our gumption a bit, our
Our
connection.
why. Our why.
Yeah, we lost it a
Yeah.
bit and we've kind of refocused into what it was that made this fun for us and hopefully for you. So I'm actually really excited about what we've come up with. So I'm interested to see how people react to it.
Right.
All right. Anything else? We're good?
No, I'm good. We're good.
All right. Let us
Yeah.
know what you found in our fun
This
little
is the
script
easy
today.
one.
This is the
this
easy
is a
one. This is our intro.
softball.
Yeah, this
This
is
is
our
a
intro.
softball.
Next week will be even better. Or not next week, next month when we do it again, I guess is what I should
Yeah.
say. All right. Bye, y'all. Thanks for showing up.